Kevin Tresolini is the University of Delaware beat writer for the Delaware News Journal, which is the flagship paper here in my home state of Wilmington, Delaware. And there was a story that he wrote about the Hampton UD game, which of course didn't go in Hampton's favor. I mean, everybody expected that was going to happen, unfortunately. But Tresolini mentioned that, there was only a crowd of 3,686 and that, UD was going up against what he called quote unquote non-notables in Hampton, Campbell, and soon to be joining the conference, Bryant, which is up in Rhode Island. Then he finished with the sentence, "There goes the neighborhood." If you're a Black person of a certain age, you understand the implications behind "there goes the neighborhood." There goes the neighborhood goes back generations. We're talking about the assassination of Martin Luther King in April of 1968 and the riots that took place after that in a lot of urban cities. And white people got out of town. They broke out fast. It was called white flight when they started going to suburban areas to create their own communities and, be free from the Black menace, if you will. So when Black people became upwardly mobile near the tail end of the 70s and the beginning of the 1980s, and those folks started filtering out of their cities and into those suburban areas, white people would generally say, "There goes the neighborhood." Now, Hampton, of course, and North Carolina A&T are HBCUs, as we all know, very proud of those schools. And they joined the Colonial, I keep calling it the Colonial, I'm sorry, the Coastal Athletic Association. And when you have a Black college joining a predominantly white conference and a reporter says there goes the neighborhood, yes, we are well within our rights to be upset about that. We're well within our rights to question, the motive behind it. I've already mentioned in my piece, if you haven't seen it, you can go to hbcusports.com and check that out. It's called "Hampton Delaware Drama is Proof That we need to pay attention to our Black college neighborhoods." So you can go check that out whenever you get a chance. And I mentioned that HBC, and I got an interesting email once the column, started bubbling a little bit, and it was from Kevin Tresolini because we are both members of the Delaware Sports Writers and Broadcasters Association. And Trez, to his credit, he took on responsibility for saying that if it was offensive, he didn't mean anything by it, and that "there goes the neighborhood" was just a turn of phrase that's been used for a long time. Yes, it's been used for a long time, but I also explained in my return email to him that Black people, we're sensitive about things that feel like slights. In Black college, the HBCU community, we're very protective of ourselves. Yes, we talk a gang of trash about our own, but that's how family is. That's how Black families are. We can say something about us, but you better not say nothing about us. That's how it works. And I told Trez in my email that Black colleges and HBCU sports, forget fighting for a slice of the pie. We're still fighting for crumbs. And granted, maybe that turn of phrase was not something that he meant any harm by, but it's to Black folks of a certain generation and those of us who were raised and mentored by Black folks of that certain generation, it absolutely is offensive. And we're well within our rights to call him out and call anyone out who chooses to use incendiary language like that. So I just want people to understand that their ice isn't always colder, their grass isn't always greener. And for everyone who's saying that, wow, Hampton and A&T should have made the right choice of going to the Colonial and Tennessee State is right to stay within the OVC and the Big South, I don't think so. Because they've shown us PWIs, NCAA, the legislators who woefully underfund us to the tunes of billions and trillions and millions of dollars at this point, they don't give a you-know-what about us. So we need to give a you-know-what about ourselves. Like, we can go into their neighborhoods, but we can't get the same experience that we have if we take care of our neighborhoods, if we take care of our HBCU conferences, if we take care of our campuses, if we keep our culture, not, sell it to the highest bidder, not have a football coach go from Jackson, Mississippi to Boulder, Colorado, and try to take a culture there that does not exist to those people. And I find also, before I go on, I find it interesting that there were some items that were taken from a Boulder, Colorado locker room, and it wasn't made a big hullabaloo as locker room items that were allegedly taken from Jackson, Mississippi, but were never found to be taken in the first place. Just want to throw that out there. But again, in closing, Black colleges, we are all we got. We cannot rely on PWIs to do the right thing. We cannot rely on the NCAA to do the right thing. We for doggone sure can't rely on legislators to do the right thing. We have to take care of our own houses. We have to sweep around our own front doors. We have to water our own gardens. We have to take care of ourselves and build ourselves up. And if we can do that, then we'll be able to make some inroads. But if we keep trying to run off to the first PWI conference that offers us, then we're going to have more people in the media, more people in positions of power saying, there goes the neighborhood. Do we really want to be in their neighborhoods if they don't want us there in the first place? We shouldn't.